It is our final night of the season.
What does that mean?
Yes, until September. We get the summer off.
Oh, nice drunk finale.
Yeah, it's wonderful. But tonight's going to be a special night. We have a very, very dear friend of mine as our special guest tonight, and she is a wonderful author and poet. She's been awarded so many awards, I'm so jealous. I thought I was keeping up with her when we both became the only two Canadian writers in Polices last year, and then from there she just took off and flew, and I can't even catch her tail feathers anymore. You got your wings, yes she does. Deborah Kelly, she's the author, and I can't even think of what the word is for Heartworks Poetry. And it's an awesome collection of poetry, and her new book is Heartworks, and it's just been published, and she has copies of her book here for sale and for signing, and she will sign them right here for you with whatever you wish, any kind of special message. She's such a wonderful person. I don't know, do you draw too?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, she draws too. I didn't say a word. I'm going to start us off tonight. Liza from the library, she does a poetry contest for Canada Day every year in the schools. And this year we have so few submissions that it's not really much of a contest. It's more of a, hey, I won. I got a poem and I won. But it's for kids up to 18 years old or grade 12 in high school. So if anybody here knows any kids that write, I've got copies of the guidelines, and I'll have them up on the table over here where I'm sitting. And if you know anybody, grab a copy of it. And by all means, they've extended the deadline until June 17th for submissions. So if you got somebody there that you'd like to give a copy to, by all means, grab a copy of the page. I'm going to get started with actually one of my poems, one of Deborah's favorite poems of mine, and then we'll pass the mic on over to Deborah. This one's called Wind Song to the River, and this one actually has quite a story behind it. It was I wrote it for the love of my life, Kara, and she's my muse. But it was from a little place we call Bend in the River, where we like to go and hang out in the summertime. We can go down there and play the guitar and write and hang out there and just enjoy all the beauties of nature down there. And I was watching these little eddies as the river flowed around the bank, and these little eddies and all the little sun sprays on the little eddies of the water, and they all like little fairy footprints across the top of the water. So I wrote this poem, and about 2 weeks later we moved into our new house, and it turned out that the strata where we live is actually called Wind Song. So it was just so portentous. It was just wonderful. So this is called Wind Song to the River. Sunlight disrupts the dance, a discordant note within the movement, shaded shadows cast. The players rest, the stage goes still while sunlight plays its part. Sprites and fairies whisper wind song, which pulls upon the heart. The day grows long while sunlight sings, as watchers cry as time flies by, a soft lament for each moment spent while daystar bows the sky. Wood nymphs join the wind song, a gentle melody from others' ears. She sighs a breeze to stir the clouds, and dappled shade appears. Wind song ceases as river song rises, and the dance once more ensues. The trilling cries of sprites and fairies, adding to the tune. The fairies dance upon the surface, adding swirls and eddies to its flow. Tinkling footprints tap the water, splashing, sparkling sprays of foam, which causes the river to chuckle sweetly as it flows across the stones, sending tiny ripples which radiate outward, tickling the fairies' toes. They dance and dance and dance as the river sings its song, till daylight bows to starlight, and midnight's draw grows strong. Moonglow beckons from the meadow, and the fairy folk take heed. They throw a kiss to bless the river, and vanish into the trees. The river flows in moonlight's glow, babbling softly to the forest folk, awaiting dappled shadow to call the fairies forth, where once again in shadows cast they'll dance their dream upon the river's back, while the river sings and wind song whispers and moon glow fades to black.